This episode is all about value. For those of y'all for the last year or so that have been asking for affordable options in solid locations, that is exactly what this is. This is a smaller community that is so early that not everybody's even here yet. We're going to have 8 builders when it's all said and done, but right now I'm probably going to show you about half of them today. We are in Creekhaven, 7 minutes away from my beloved Meridiana, and I want to show you what you can get for affordable luxury for those of y'all, especially my first-time home buyers that reach out to me that want something that's a little bit more affordable, a little bit more attainable. You're about $100K less to be here versus Meridiana, and I want to show you exactly what you get. We're going to talk about some of the pros of going to a smaller neighborhood like this. We're going to talk about some of the cons of going to a neighborhood like this, because I got to keep it real with you. There are some cons, but all in all, this is going to be some of the best bang for your buck that you're going to get in all of Houston. If that sounds good, stay tuned. And up first, we got the Ketaring 2 plan. Shout out to my guy, Lance. He was doing the YouTube thing for a while, and it looks like he got that itch to go back into production. And he is now back in production with Smith Douglas. And he said, Aaron, come check me out. And I said, hey man, I got you. So that's what we're doing today. So out the gate, this is going to be a 45-foot product. They are going to be competing in sections with the likes of Coventry Homes, which is one of you guys' favorite little sleeper builders in the Houston Metro. And we'll probably show them on a part 2 of this video. When the other builders get here, we'll come check them out. I want to give my guy Lance a little heads up. Now, all of this is smoke and mirrors, right? So don't get caught up in the decor. Feel the vibe and the flow of the neighborhood. So this one's going to be about, what, 1,600 square feet? 1,600 to 1,700 square feet, somewhere in there. It's going to be open concept. But I'm liking the finishes. This is pretty. We got a luxury vinyl flooring. Looks like luxury vinyl plank. It doesn't look like the roll-on. Yeah, because I can see the gaps in between. So this is luxury vinyl plank. So that's a nice finish. This would normally be the door to your garage, which you see right here. Shout out to my guy Noah. Nice appliances, and it's going to be slide in. Now again, we haven't talked about the main draw to this neighborhood yet. And one of the pros of buying in, probably the pro of buying in a neighborhood like this, especially this early, is the price. Now we'll turn the camera on your boy while we talk about that. So pricing over here, you got stuff in like the mid to upper twos, which in a market that is booming like the Meridiana, Iowa Colony, Manville, Resharon, Arcola area, there's been a lot of boom at least the last 5 years. I can say going back as far as probably like 4 or 5 years, like that right before COVID hit, there were a lot of DR Horton and Legend Home kind of communities kind of popping up out here to supplement, which is another one of the things and the points that I want to draw to your attention about a community like this. This is like a supplementary and a complementary community to a neighborhood like where we live in Meridiana. And so the benefit that comes with doing that is you get a much better price. We're gonna get to some of the homes that are similar size to where me and my wife currently live now, 2,600 to 2,800 to 3,000 square feet. And what you're getting for $100K less over here compared to Meridiana, if you are one of the people that as of late, I've been getting more and more of those comments that are just like, hey, I don't need the three pool areas. I don't need 20 lakes. I don't need X amount of whatever, right? Insert amenity. For that type of person that doesn't need a bunch of amenities, that just wants a solid home at an affordable price, this is who this style of community is for. The Houston Metro is the #1 new construction metro in the US right now. Okay, for capital of people here, we probably got 3 new construction homes per person. It's that many, and it's a little sweaty. So the sweat is an unpaid actor, y'all. So excuse me. It's that many new construction communities here. Just around Meridiana, there are, and this is just me counting real fast in my head, there are 12 new construction communities surrounding Meridiana. And that's going as far down towards like the Alvin Way, that's going to more Rosharon Way, that's going more south towards like we are here, the Bonnie, Rosharon kind of area, that's going more west towards the Missouri City, Fresno. There's a lot of communities that just surround what I would consider as the flagship 288 community in the Manville, Iowa Colony area, which is Meridiana. And as a benefit of that, your community, when you go into one like this, may not ever be the main draw of a feature attraction, but it will help speed up the development. And so even Meridiana has a benefit of a community like this coming here and bringing more houses in that Manville town center that we all depend on. Although the biggest draw for that in the area is probably going to be Meridiana, that has, at the end of when it's all said and done, close to 7,000 to 10,000 doors. This is going to be about 2,000 doors, so way smaller. But when the developers are looking at an area of where they're going to develop and bring stuff to an area, they count all of these doors and say, we need to bring this to serve these people. And so as a benefit of that, this neighborhood may never be at that place where it's garnering its own HEB, but you have access to it at a much more affordable price. You may never be the place that gets its own strip mall, but you have access to all of these big communities around you that were big enough to bring those initial commercial support. So the benefit is the best price per square foot is going to be always in a community like this. And you're gonna, if you can get a builder that you like, that is out in the area like this, that's going to be a win compared to being in a Meridiana at the expense of just less amenities. So we're always going to have more pools than y'all. We're always going to have more lakes and walking trails. We're always going to have more green space and areas and things. That's the trade-off. But for the price, to be able to get you a nice new construction home with a solid builder under $300,000, that's not really a thing in Meridiana anymore. Okay. So back to the house. Got beautiful finishes. They do offer tons of inventory, and they also give you a ground up experience as well, where you would pick the selections here with the sales manager. So you are gonna have a lot premium, you're gonna have a base plan cost, then you're gonna have a lot premium that you have to factor in, and then the selections that you make. And all of that is gonna total up to your final price that you would finance in once it's all said and done. So it looks like we got good sized pantry, one little closet here. So this would be coming off of your garage, so little coat closet. And then it's just a nice size open concept, man. Like for a first time home buyer, this is pretty much all you would need, man. Like you have your 3 beds and an office, around 1,700 square feet, nice little family room that's open concept, nice little back patio. This is a great alternative for something that'll be like $290, right? And then this community is not gonna be a slouch. This is gonna be about 1,000 acres. It's like 950, it's just shy of 1,000. So this isn't a tiny community. Many times the communities like this are going to be less than 500 acres. And so Are you going to have anything other than like a retention pond lake in many of those other communities? No, this is damn near a big one at 1,000 acres, right? So you're gonna have some amenities coming with this one. You're gonna have some good green spaces. You're gonna have the winding streets that look really pretty, right? It's not the biggest, but you're gonna have some of the benefits of being a good mid-sized community near some really top-rated master plan communities like a Meridiana, like a Sienna, like a Pomona, like a Del Bello at one point in time, right? So there's some pros that come with that. And you get to reap the benefit of all the price stuff, which is just a win. So good size room. Nothing too crazy. Again, this is gonna be your standard like starter home, right? But do I think it's beautiful? Absolutely. Would I have loved 3 bedrooms and an office in my starter home? Absolutely. Did I have that? Nah. But there's growth, right? There, you move on up as you move on up. We got another linen closet. So things to notice. I am seeing some good trim and things around the house. So it's not just like bare bones. It's not just like a straight up entry level, you know, they're just throwing stuff together, because they also do provide a ground up experience if you did want that. I'm seeing some nice style doors. I'm seeing cabinets with hardware on them. I'm seeing nice countertops. This is an upgraded flooring that you can get, that I've had people pick at design centers when we've gone there for more luxury builders, right? So this is good stuff that they are putting in here. The thing that you are going to notice is just like the height of doors and height of windows is just smaller. I'm not seeing any 8-foot doors. It looks like it's the standard height door for everything in here. Let's see if we can get out to this back patio. You know you building in Texas when you hear them horns going off. Looks like we got back easements per usual, so the rules would still apply. For those of y'all that have been following the channel for a while, that I've explained the easements. Can't put anything permanent on that back fence because you got a utility easement back there. Size of this yard looks great. This is a 45-foot yard, and this is probably damn near bigger than my backyard. Hold on now. Am I about to start hating on them? This back patio is a nice size. No gas back here. I'm not sure if that's something that you can add or can't with Smith Douglas over here. That's something I can ask my guy Lance, though. I'm sure if you're building the ground up, you could. But usually they would display that on their homes in their model if that was an option, because they want people to think about it, and when they're building, they want to build it. All right. Also, if you're out touring down south and you see these, this is your storm shutter holders. So you would be given either some kind of a plank, or you'd be given some kind of wood that fits on these windows and doors to cover you in the event that you have a bad storm coming and you want to kind of block things in. Don't be like me and throw your boards away. Just hold them, y'all. It's a really nice size, man. It's the really nice size. We got tray ceilings. We got a really good size bed, really full size furniture. Got enough room for a couch in the front. Really big size dresser. And really tall ceilings, man. I'm impressed. I think this is gonna do beautifully for those that are just like, look, man, my budget is $325. What can I go get? And I have something that is pretty, that is off of 288, that is close to the HEB, within 15 minutes of the HEB, probably within 25 to 30 minutes of downtown Houston. I got an option for you now. That doesn't require you to share walls or do any of that stuff that you'd be forced to do currently in Meridiana, because that would basically put you in the townhome section of Meridiana at that price. I know pricing has kind of gone crazy since COVID. And for the people that have been in Houston for a while, that remember when $300,000 could get you an old little mansion in some of these old suburbs, today's price ain't yesterday's price. And despite having some of the most inventory that we've had in the Houston metro since we've moved here, pricing is still going up because there's still enough demand, right? So we deal with what the prices are, and you adjust, you move a little bit further out. If you want new construction, want to be on the south side, that means you may be in Creekhaven versus Meridiana, and you save that equity in your first home. You sell this house when this neighborhood is in a good spot and it makes sense for you to sell. And you play the real estate game like all of us that have owned homes do. Sell that home, upgrade, keep that home as a rental, get a higher paying job, get your next home. Now you got multiple doors, play the game. Yeah, this is a beautiful first stop. So we have 3 beds, 2-car garage, 3 beds, and an office. This will probably be 3 beds and maybe a little media space. I like it. I don't know if this can be converted to a 4-bedroom option just based off of the footprint. It probably could be, but this is really nice. They have great incentives right now that you can use money towards closing costs, money towards design, however you want it. Also, with the relationship that I have with Lance, he's basically been like, if you got somebody that's serious, we can make some things happen. And I like when people call me and tell me that, because that means something great for you. But we got more to see. All right, moving right on up, we're going into the 50-foot Brightland home. Now this one has been popping up more and more all over Houston, specifically in some of you guys' favorite city suburbs. And they are positioning themselves as a luxury builder in those spaces, okay? Most recently on the channel, we've seen them in, what was that? Brookwater out in Rosenberg. I've been touring and seeing them in places like Katy Lakes, which is a similar play to the Ellisons of the world, where you got a smaller community, a more affluent community pricing wise, and then you have a builder that's going to give you something for the same size for about 50 to 100K less. And then you've also seen them in places like Bridgeland. Right now, they have positioned themselves to be one of the few builders that are going to be in the coveted Bridgeland Central, where they'll offer homes around 2,200 square feet at the max and buddy up against David Weekley, man. So Brightland is no slouch of a builder. And this is looking like the Magnolia plan that has basically become their staple model all over Houston when they got a 2-story on a 50-foot product. And I'm a fan of it. Beautiful. Base plan on this model is like $390, which is crazy. So for something that is 27-ish hundred square feet, to put that in perspective, comparing that to the home that I live in, that is about 100K less for the base plan of the home that I bought, which we love, in Meridiana compared to here, right? That is what I mean. That is the win. the savings in a community like this are going to be unhinged compared to being in a neighborhood like Meridiana. But one of the things that you can notice from that first home that we were in, which was a 45 foot, this is a 50 foot, you just feel that extra width and elegance. You get more high ceilings, you just get bigger doors. There's just more elevated touches. You get cabinets going to the ceiling. There's just more elevated touches in a home like this versus that first one. And of course you can go full on design, full on, you know, upgraded cabinetry, upgraded hardware pulls, all the whole shebang. You can get whatever you want with a builder like Brightland, because as I said, they have positioned themselves in that more affluent luxury spaces and luxury adjacent, right? Me and my guy Vin, I think Vin Tran is over here. We're working on hopefully getting us one together here soon. Still trying to work out some of the details for a couple families that are looking at this plan and similar plans in the metro. We got a beautiful open concept, great entertainment space. And that's a beautiful view. Got a view of your peekaboo game room up there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This is a great use of the 50-foot width. I love when if you're not gonna have a separate dining for it, I love when they have it kind of tucked off and by the back door. I think this is just great positioning of walls and things in here to make this look and feel just bigger than it is. But even still, just like the walkways that you have in between the cabinet space in here, this is just a really grand kitchen on a really grand island. It's a really, really beautiful home. We got some of the soft glam touches, like the little bank seating over here. Let y'all see this back patio. I do think that this is an upgraded, extended back patio. But for the price savings of getting something like this over here versus Meridiana, I think it is absolutely worth it. Beautiful. Again, you see utility poles in the back. So do you have room for a pool? Absolutely. You got tons of room for a pool up in here, but off of that back fence, you can't build all the way up to it. And that was some of the storm shutters that I was telling you about earlier. So you would take those, put those on the windows, clamp them down, and then when you're done, ready to take them down, you can take them down. All right, now, the elephant in the room. What is the con, Aaron? You said there was some pros, but what is the con to being in a neighborhood like this? Well, my friend, I'll tell you. For those of y'all that are looking at this for the potential upside of an investment, buying a home, in my opinion, will always be one of the most solid investments. It's a saving account that you get to live in. Okay, it is a nest egg that you don't see, but you have tons of utility for. So when you build up enough equity, you can get a line of credit to either consolidate debt or buy new things or buy investments. There's things that you can do with the equity that you have in your home. So like I said, it is one of the best savings accounts and investment vehicles that you get to live in. And when you're looking at it from that lens, there are some drawbacks to being in a community like this that is so close to a neighborhood like mine. And that is being that while you will pay much less for a house of the same size here versus Meridiana. Like I said, this house base is like $399. In Meridiana, this would be $5 to $530, okay? But your long-term values will likely always be capped by my neighborhood. So there's nothing that this house could do. There's nothing that you could add to this house that it would still appraise here and jump the values of my neighborhood. What do I mean by that? So if you did every upgrade imaginable here and that totaled you out to $450, there is nothing that you could do to this house to jump where my house started and where it will be over the same period of time. There's nothing that you could do because this neighborhood is going to be capped by the values of the bigger, more marquee community surrounding you. Just like there's nothing that Meridiana can do to jump the values of Sienna, right? There's levels to it. The A side is always going to be the A side. That's the reality of it. There's nothing. We just mentioned Katy Lakes and Ellison. There's nothing that Katy Lakes can do to jump the values of what Ellison is doing. It just is impossible. The values are going to be dictated by the primary community in the neighborhood, and the primary community on this side of the world is Meridiana. So, having said that, it's going to be a fine balance between getting more bang for your buck, getting more of the finishes and amenity, getting more of the finishes and structure that you want for a more affordable price. But you don't want to go too crazy because there's nothing that you can do here to where 3 years from now you can sell this for $500 if the values in Meridiana are capped at $515. You're not going to sell for that close because the gap is much wider. I'm hoping I'm driving that home, because that is the biggest con to buying in a neighborhood like this, is if most people don't use all the amenities, right? In Meridiana, I use my amenities. I be at my gym, I be at my track, I hit that lake. I be using my stuff. I be in that pool, okay? But not everybody's like that. So that's not really the hugest draw. So if we take it back a step and we talk about this as strictly an investment, which this is an investment vehicle, one of the best that you can have in the US. A savings account that you can live in, your savings account is kind of always going to be capped by what I'm doing in my neighborhood, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't go too crazy when you're doing all the stuff that you want to do out here, because the return that you would get on that turnaround when 5 to 7 years from now and you're thinking about maybe upsizing or moving to a different area, you're kind of going to be capped, okay, by what the bigger, more affluent neighborhoods are doing nearby, okay? But other than that, man, for the time being, we got you a beautiful home. Okay. All right. Keep it going. Slide into this primary. I think this is beautiful. I love when they put the little transient windows up there, just to let in that light from a different location. Makes the house feel more bright and airy. Really good size. Got a get ready station over here. Nice big deep soaker tub over here, split vanities. Nice shower with a bench. This is great use of square footage. Linen closet on this here side. That's where you handle your business. Tucked off over here. And this is a really good sized closet that connects to your laundry. So again, luxury things. This is a luxury finish. This is a luxury thing. This is stuff that they would typically do on something that's like a 60-foot wide. This is a big house feature where you connect the closet to the laundry. That's something I wish I had in ours. and you can have that in yours. It's a slight little pay upgrade, but well worth it. Great size game room. Great size game room. Can't forget to take care of the peekaboo crew. That's a beautiful view. Like, this is what people ask for. People coming from out of state wanting that two-story feel, that's two-story vibe. You can get that easy. Storage. Into the secondary bedrooms upstairs, and this one has a few different configurations. I think it can be a 5-bedroom. You can do it with 4-bedroom and a movie room upstairs. You can configure this one a few different ways. If you get an oversized lot, you could probably do a 3-car garage on it. And I know they have oversized lots here because they have a 60-foot section that we're gonna go and put eyes on as well, so you can just see what that looks like. And that's with Colina Homes. That's not as finished, but I want you to just kind of see what they're putting down as well. But yeah, man, this is a beautiful home. And so that's what, how many beds up? That's 3 beds up. Good size closet. Little galley style, about what you expect on a room in a house that is this size, where they're trying to maximize the actual room size. The closet is kind of an afterthought. That kind of is what it is, but you got some great size rooms. Like, I'm pretty sure this would be a great size room for my daughter. Really, really great size room. And a great closet. Yeah, super pretty, man. This is, so we got 1, 2, 3 beds up top. Really nice size game room. And like I said, I believe this is the Magnolia plan, where you can have a media room kind of caddy corner, like over this primary bedroom, if you just wanted a media room. A few different configurations that I've seen, but I think this is a gorgeous home, starting in the high 3s, which to me is crazy. Just seeing that price difference between what I know I paid for my house that's a similar size and this is a good size home, man, for an affordable price. So check it out. And again, the drive-in was beautiful, right off of 288. The front of the community is going to be green space. The amenity center is going to be just opposite of us. I don't know if you can see that through the window, but just opposite of us is going to be part of the amenity centers, your lakes and all the things, the pools and splash pads and all that stuff that's supposed to be coming here. So you're going to get some of the stuff, and you're going to get a whole hell of a lot of the discount. I think this is a beautiful option, but we got some more to see. All right, moving on up, we have the CastleRock 50-foot model. This is the Hayden plan. We have Miss Wanderlin in here. So I want to go and check it out.
Hello?
It's me. No, you good. This would normally be your garage that they have offices in right now. That was Miss Wanderlin in the back. So you have an office off the front door. Beautiful size. Good tall ceilings. CastleRock is definitely going to play into that more luxury builder in this community for sure. And they've done a great job of intertwining themselves in really nice big communities. So a couple that come to mind to me are Sunterra. They were also in Marvita and sold out almost immediately in Marvita. They were such a beautiful model. This is actually looking kind of like the Marvita model now that I think about it. This is an absolutely beautiful home. Yeah, this one is a 4-bed office, game room, and a media. So all decked up like this with the level of finishes and things that you see in here, you're probably in the 5s. But as it stands, a little less dolled up with the same structure. She has one right now that's like $438. So if you're okay with a little project and changing out some colors and changing out some floors and stuff like that, that's a deal for something that is over 2,800 square feet. Beautiful. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of things that I love. Yeah, separate, even though they don't have a formal dining, to have it separated and kind of tucked off into the corner, I think is a beautiful use of space. I'm seeing touches like under cabinet lighting, seeing stone and things and tiles go all the way up to the range hood. I'm seeing an oversized range hood, insert appliances. Again, these are, they're definitely in the more luxury space over here, okay? Appliances, we got pull-out cabinets and drawers and things. We have the stuff that people know and want and love in that luxury space, okay? Super wide corridor. I thought this was a 60. This is actually a 50. But look how wide that is. And you come into it and you have this beautiful foyer that just opens up. Beautiful. All right, back into the home. Pantry is a little tight on this one, I will admit. But you'll be using some cabinets on this one, because that's a little bit tight. So that's one con that I would say so far. Great size laundry, got enough to probably put a little countertop in here, a little fold station. And then it does the thing that everybody loves about the Texas 2-stories, right? It opens up. It's not a weird slanted wall, it's straight up. If you're gonna spend the money to do the fireplace and do it right, you can do it. Take that tile all the way up. Don't stop down here. Don't do that. Take that thing all the way up. Big windows, great walls for art. It's doing the thing. Great finishes. There's going to be a more design element when you're dealing with a CastleRock, so you will have some great options to do ground up builds over here. And they got great incentives, and this is a pretty good incentive. If you were to build dirt, they would guarantee a 5.25 interest rate, which is crazy. Guaranteed right now, with interest rates for many people being in the 6s and 7s, depending on your credit profile. On a build, they would guarantee, if you were to sign right now, a 5.25. On their inventory, they're doing 3.99 fixed. Crazy, okay? So, like I tell you, this ain't your forever home. You don't need to be out here building it. Go and get that inventory, change those things, make those projects over time so you can get that lower payment and get into it at a more affordable price. Go inventory, okay? But if you wanted to build, if you were particular, I have a couple clients that are looking over here that are gonna want that media room, they're gonna want that game room, they're gonna want that office that certain way, and you gotta structurally change the base plan to get that. So they gotta build. But if you're not in that scenario, don't build, okay? I take that back. You can build, it's your money. I'm not gonna tell you what not to do, but I'm just a better financial decision. Do inventory, okay? It's looking nice, but before we go in there, I just realized that I didn't take y'all out here to let you see what the back patio, I'm pretty sure that this is extended. And remember what I was telling y'all before, showing you what they could do. So I'm not sure if Smith Douglas has there in their arsenal to add gas on the back, but CastleRock does, being a more luxury builder. It looks like we got 4-side brick on this one. Again, being a more luxury builder, those are just little touches that you notice, that you pick up on. Looks like we have 4-side gutters also. I'm not sure if that's a standard or an upgrade. In a couple communities that I was looking at CastleRock with some other clients, that was a standard. So that was no add to have that on the house. It just came with it. That's something I can verify with Ms. Wanderlin for sure. But beautiful, beautiful so far. Slide on into this primary. Alcove lighting, again, that's something that you can add, upgrade after the fact, but this is a great size room. This room is huge. Really, really great size. I love how they have this little corner window over here, just adds a little character and charm that you don't usually see in the primary. It's usually just walls. Great size closet in here as well. And this bathroom back here is looking real big. Let's go ahead and slide through here. Okay. Closed in a little bit, but again, get your tub, nice soaker tub, dual vanities, nice size shower with a bench. Great finishes. I love how this is a smaller bathroom, but I love how they vaulted the ceiling to make it feel and appear more grand than the numbers of this room would actually probably suggest. So I'm a fan. I like it a lot. I really, really like it. Beautiful. My friends, that's just the first floor. We've been in here 8 minutes, and that's just the first floor. So let's go on ahead, make our way upstairs, see if y'all liking that as well. So far we got an office, half bath, full bed. Yeah, so 1 bed, 1 office, and a half bath on the first floor. Let's go on up to the second story. Get on up here. We got the little peekaboo. We got a little peekaboo on this side. I love how they do the upgraded railing in here. I think this is beautiful. Get to your main peekaboo, and you probably saw that room out in the distance. We'll go back to it. Make you wait for it a little bit. But you come in here, beautiful size, great windows. My wife loves the pane window. It looks like that's making a comeback, because I'm seeing that more and more in these houses now. We have these boxes, hey. I like that carpet too. All right, I'm gonna have to not show my wife this, because for the price that this is, Meridiana forever, baby. Meridiana forever, I'm just playing. Now this is a great look, great look. Still teasing that. Little movie room back there. I love how this wings off. And so you got 3 beds up here. Could be king size beds. This is a really nice size. Getting full furniture in here. Closet appears to be a little bit bigger than just that normal galley-sized closet that you're getting on a lot of the secondary closets in a 50-foot wide home. Looks like we have a shared bath on this one that is not Jack and Jill, so it's not tied to anyone's bedroom, which means it also services this guest space up here, this play area, and these bedrooms. So I would definitely, if I was building this ground up, I would probably want to add, one of these would have to have their own ensuite. We can't have everybody in the game room using the bathrooms up here. We can't. Great size closet. One thing I can definitely see in here for sure is that the closet space is pretty outstanding and the room sizes are really, really big. Good size game room. This would be enough for Chenny's school. And then we slide on into this pretty good size little media space, man. And that's enough, right? It's not the hugest, but if you said you wanted a 4-bed and an office and a media space, you can get that. And that will cost you about $438 right now with a 3.99 interest rate. And no matter how much I love my neighborhood of Meridiana, I can't do that over there, right? So this is gonna service a need of a person that wants a nice high-end builder, someone that is super solid in the metro, that's gonna give you the ability to afford the things that you want and not be in the middle of nowhere. That is who this neighborhood is for. That to a T. First-time home buyers, and for people that this isn't the first house, but they're not willing to pay the premium for the amenities that I love so much in my neighborhood. They'll be a little bit further out and they'll be able to get more of the house that they want. This is exactly who this neighborhood is for. And if you're open to some of these builders that maybe don't publicize themselves as much or don't showcase themselves as much online, like some of the favorites on the channel, your Perrys, your Highlands, your Newmarks, and all those people, the Westons of the world that do those things that y'all love so much on the channel, and that partner up with these developers so much on the channel, if you can open your mind up to some of these Brightland Homes, some of these CastleRocks, some of these Colinas, some of these builders like the ones that I'm showcasing you today, some of these Saratogas, some of these Meritages, some of these, Pulte's, some of these Syntex, some of these builders that go into that space of we're solid, but we're not trying to compete with these mega massive communities and these mega massive marketing budgets of these big well-known name companies. If you can give them a chance, there's a high likelihood that you can really find some really great value. And I'm all about that. I'm all about that. So yeah, that is CastleRock. We got one more. It's not quite done. We're going to check out Colina, see if they're still open, and let me know what you think. That one's going to be on a 60-foot wide product, so it's going to be a little bit wider in some spaces. That is a smaller home than this one, so this is kind of stretching on the biggest side of what you can get in this neighborhood for a 50-footer. They go up to, I believe, 33 or 3,400 square feet in the 60-foot section for Colina Homes, but I think their model is only like 25 to 2,600 square feet. It's going to be a little bit smaller than this. Let's see if it feels that much smaller than this one, or if it gives you the same good vibes that I get in here, because if I had to pick so far today, this is the one I would be getting. For under $450, I can get this much square foot and then bring my guy Julio in there to do whatever I want him to do. Not even close. Not even close. All right. Last but not least, we have Colina Homes. Now this is going to be probably in the roughest shape just because they're not quite there yet. But again, I wanted you to see the 60-foot width so you can get an idea of what you can get in this home. Back again, that's Michelle. So when you come by here, make sure that you tell her that I sent you so we can take great care of you, okay? Some of the things that you just noticed, bigger entry doors. Grand foyer. And then similar kind of vibe. So this was originally going to be their showcase room. They've moved that, so they do have to touch up this office to doll it up a little bit more. But this is your office. It's a really good size. And I love when they put those windows up top, just letting in that natural light in a little bit higher. Eight-foot doors. So just doing some of the stuff that's a little bit more luxurious. That would be your garage. You can have 3-car garages over here. So for the people that want a little bit more parking space or a little bit more storage space, where they don't have to put all their vehicles and things outside, because this is Texas and people be hoarding. You got that ability here. Again, you're still doing the thing. And this would look bigger if it had furniture, and that's just the optics of staging. So this might look a little tiny, but this is a great space. That dining space back there, when they put their table and everything, I'll probably come back and show this one again, but I just wanted you to see what you could get in here right now. And pricing on this is, again, outstanding. You know, getting something that's 3,000 square feet, you're still in the 4s over here. That is unheard of currently in Meridiana, right? So I want you to see it. Their design center approach is going to be local with the sales counselor here. I'll show you that room when we get upstairs. But it's basically going to be like, I've talked about some of the benefits of doing a Chesmar. Does it mean you're going to get ugly stuff? No, that's a upgraded countertop on any design center I've ever gone to. That's an upgraded tile in the back. You know, there's things in here that are upgraded. Chevron pattern on the tile, wood look tile, that's an upgrade for most builders, okay? So there's things in here that are definitely upgraded. It doesn't mean that you're getting a super low quality builder by any stretch of the imagination. But piggybacking off the benefits of going in a community like this that we talked about earlier, you get the benefit off the discount of the price. And another thing, this is gonna be on some pretty big yards. Look how big this yard is on this 60-footer. And they have a couple cul-de-sac kind of lots that are this big, but look how big this backyard is. So another thing that you're gonna notice is if you go a little bit further away from some established places, the land costs a little bit less, and you typically get a little more of everything the further you go away, right? Good size back patio. I don't see gas on this one. I know I've definitely had some that I've done in the past with Colina that had gas on the back patio, so I believe it is a possibility. I'll confirm with Miss Shelley before I head out. Beautiful. All right, let's go check out your primary, see if it's giving the vibes. Little niches for you to put artwork and things. That's a pretty Colina kind of standard. Nice tray ceilings. Good size room. Again, you'll always be able to put a king bed and some nice side tables. You would have enough room for a little couch or chair in here as well, and a nice full-size dresser. Is just, again, use your imagination. Without the furniture, is gonna look a little bit smaller than the numbers would suggest. This is right around 2,600 square feet and 60-foot wide. You get the shower with the bench, get a nice soaker tub as well. This is where you handle your business. no make ready station. So this is one of the smaller 2 stories over here. And so like I said, they do go up to about 32 or 3,300 square feet. So 5 bed, 3 car garage, all the stuff. You can have that with this builder as well. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Y'all gotta tell me if y'all are liking this too. Just trying to show y'all everything that you got as an option on my side of town. And let you know some of the pros and the challenges with picking something like this over something like my neighborhood, okay? So come in here, great size room. Again, furniture I think would really show how great of a size this actually is. Galley style closet. Ensuite, so that's a plus whenever you got at least 1 bedroom that has their own bath. That's always a plus to me. Got a little baby peekaboo off the front. Main peekaboo off the back. It does the things, man. If you want a solid home, affordable, high ceilings, tall doors, stuff that you can come in, customize, make it your own, make it really beautiful. This is doing it. This is doing the things. Good size secondary closet on this one. A little better. Does this one have its own ensuite as well? Oh, we got Jack and Jill, and y'all know the stance I have on them Jack and Jills. I ain't walking through that thing. Because we need them what? We need them minutes. I also love that this is like a hallway or a corridor. You very rarely get hallways in these homes these days. But yeah, these are some of the selections that you can pick. So you're gonna have standard, you're gonna have upgrade level 1, 2, 3. You're gonna have various different tiles, various different floorings. You're gonna have a bunch of stuff that you can pick from to make this house look super nice, right? Standard stuff's gonna be free. So if we're looking at this, like this would be your free options in here probably. You would step up to a quartz, that's gonna be your more upgraded. The prettier, the more veining and things you get into it, the more you're gonna pay typically. Same thing with the brick choices. Based on this being a community with a developer, you're gonna have limitations on what your exterior can be as compared to your neighbor. My stance on upgrades and building, we just talked about it a good little bit in the last home, and that is, this ain't your forever home. Don't go crazy if you're building. Get the structural stuff, but the cosmetic stuff is that's always gonna be cheaper if you just go with that specialty subcontractor. So don't pay for AV through the builder. Get the plugs, get the wiring maybe, but don't get the whole system. If you want good flooring, good carpet, this is probably free carpet in here if we're being honest. But if you upgraded it through the builder, it would probably cost you way more. It would just make more sense to go through an actual carpet vendor, and you would get a better install price. Or hit me up for my guy Julio. They can do pretty much everything. Okay. But yeah, man, this is solid. Tall doors, solid finishes. I'm a fan, and this is again all under 450, right? Under 500,000 for up to 3,000 square feet. So if you're one of these people that say, Aaron, I want a little bit more space. I'm cool with having amenities, but I don't really care to the level that I'm gonna spend $100,000 more for a pool. At that price, I get my own damn pool, right? And I get it. And for people that are like that, we have communities like this all over Houston that serve that purpose, where you'll always get more bang for your buck. You'll always be able to get more of those structural things in the house that you want. There's less from a structural standpoint and probably even a cosmetic standpoint that you'll have to sacrifice now by going to a community like this. But you always have to keep in the back of your mind that if you're looking at this as a long-term investment, which you should be, because this is an investment that you get to sleep in, cook in, do all your stuff in, long-term values will always be stunted. If you can deal with that fact and you're okay with what that looks like, and you can conceptualize that 5 years from now, it'll still cost less to be over here than Meridiana, or less to be over here than Sienna. If you can deal with that and conceptualize that and deal with that in your mind and be cool, this is always going to be the better financial option in terms of cost and getting exactly what you want in today's market, okay? If you are looking at it strictly more long-term value, I would say my vote for most people, understanding that this is not the forever home for most, right? This is not going to be the forever home for most people. If you want to leverage your neighborhood as a value to appreciate to a higher level to get you to your dream home, then I would say I would probably vote going for something like a Meridiana, because the values are higher. We have a bigger footprint. Some of the things that cause that, we have townhomes all the way on up to houses that are 100 foot wide. We have mansions in that neighborhood. So there's certain levels and products that my neighborhood has that this neighborhood doesn't have as a housing option, that's gonna limit and kind of truncate that value just a little bit. But if you're cool with that and you say, Aaron, that sounds great, but for the next 10 years, I want my movie theater, my 4 bedrooms, my office, I want it to be under $450, you can do that here. Can't do that in Meridiana. Wish you could. If we could, I'll probably have it in Meridiana. But we can't do that on a new home, right? You could probably do it on a resale. We can't do that on a new home, right? So it's a trade, and it's a game that you play. And because I've sold houses in so many neighborhoods all over the Houston metro, I can tell you with confidence what you can do pretty much in every city suburb. And as Houston continues to grow on all sides of the map, you throw a dart at a map of Houston, there's probably a new construction community somewhere nearby. And because I've built relationships with all of these builders, when I walked in today, me and Miss Shelley damn near hugged it out, because we worked on a client in Sierra Vista. What was that? Probably like 5 years ago now. Small world. These same people we keep meeting over and over and over again. And so I want to be that go-to for you. I want to be that person that can provide value to you. I want to be that person that can tell you, hey, this is what the 5 to 10 years have looked like in this neighborhood. This is what it likely is going to look like in the future. Don't have a crystal ball, but this is likely what it's going to be in the future. If you were to go in a neighborhood like this is probably where we would kind of be stuck underneath for the foreseeable future until X, Y, and Z happens. I want to be able to do that analysis for you. If you want to come out here and just check some of these people out, whether it's Miss Wanderlin in CastleRock, Miss Shelley here in Colina, if it's my guy Lance in Smith Douglas, or if it's my guy Vin in Brightland, come on. They got sign-in sheets pretty much on all of their kitchens, just like this. They want to know how you found out about them. And this is honestly the first video that I've seen on YouTube showcasing this. And it's 7 minutes from the crib. I'm trying to sell out of this place, okay? So if you need something that is of value, whether that's here or if you're doing the same thing and you want to know about great sleeper communities in Katy, I got a couple for you that do a similar thing to this. You want to think about a few in Cypress, I got a few. Conroe, I got a few. Everywhere that you're pretty much looking, I got a few either super big communities that I focus on the channel or communities like this to give you some options. Secondary point, this is a little step out of what I would typically show. This is a little bit smaller for what I would show on the channel. Hit that like button, show me that you actually like seeing this, or if you want me to go back to the kind of mansion-y stuff that I show with the family, y'all gotta let me know if this one doesn't really do that well. I might not be out here for a part two if y'all ain't showing love and y'all ain't hit me up. Best way to get in touch with me, hit that comment section. You're gonna see a link to my calendar. Book a call, please. That's the absolute best way to get in touch with me. I have gotten a few calls while I was filming today. I'm not picking that up because I'm out working. Same thing as if I was out with a client and you caught me in the middle of that, I'm probably not gonna answer the phone. I'll get back to you when I can. Best way to have me locked in, book that call is super easy. I'll probably throw a QR screen, or I'll throw a QR on the screen right now so you can click that, put your camera on that, book that call. It's gonna take you over to a website, pick a time that works well for you. Hit me with a text, hit me with a comment, hit me with an email. I respond to all of it, but the absolute best way to get in touch with me is absolutely 1000% of the time, so I know I'm locked in with you, is through booking that call. And that is the video for the day. So we have houses starting in the 200s. Now, I don't want catfish. It's just like mid to upper 200s, but still under 300,000. We got houses that's going up to over 3,000 square feet, under 500K. We are 7 minutes from a major town center that's up and coming in the area. You're about 30 minutes max from the medical center in downtown Houston, right off of one of the most direct routes into and outside of Houston, off of the 288 corridor, soon to be met by the 99 extension that makes its way over here. And you're about $100,000 less than one of my favorite communities in all of Houston, right here in Creekhaven, just south, 7 minutes south of Meridiana. That's hard to beat.